Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Blake Damon here, and today we're going to go through some patch notes. These patch notes came out on October the 31st, 2023. At the beginning of this article, they talk about the Le Seraphim limited time event and some general updates, but we won't go through those because what we're really here for is the hero updates. Developer comments. This balance patch is largely focused on widening the window of time players have during combat between some impactful cooldowns, such as Bastion's reconfigure, Cassidy's grenade, and many of the support utilities. So in other words, the aim of this patch is to give more time for players to actually play before they have to hide from really annoying abilities like Bastion's tank form, for example. First off, we have the tanks. The developers' comments for D.Va. The added projectile speed for micro missiles helps improve their consistency at medium range, while the decreased movement speed penalty on fusion cannons enables D.Va to stick closer to mobile targets, making her more of a threat when diving into the enemy team. So while D.Va is using her fusion cannons, the movement speed penalty has been reduced from 40 to 30%, and her micro missiles projectile speed has increased from 40 to 50. So yeah, they've buffed her primary fire and her missiles. Doomfist's developer comments. This change will give the stunned player more opportunities to react to Doomfist following a wall stun. Rocket Punch's minimal wall stun duration has been decreased from 0.25 to 0.15 seconds, and the maximum wall stun duration has been decreased from 0.75 to 0.6 seconds. So you know when you can't do anything after Doomfist punches you into the wall for a bit? That moment of not being able to do anything has now been reduced. So this is a little bit of a nerf for Doomfist. Winston's developer comments. Increasing the range of the alternate fire will give Winston some more flexibility in positioning while dealing damage from range. The Tesla Cannon's secondary fire range has increased from 30 to 40 meters. So that's Winston's right click that you can charge up. That's been given a significant buff. And now the damage hero updates. Bastion doesn't have any developer comments, but his configuration Assault has been nerfed, so the cooldown for that has now been increased from 10 to 12 seconds, and the weapon spread has been increased to 10%. So Bastion's Assault form is that one where he turns into a tank with wheels. Yeah, that form has been given a significant nerf, and thank God for that. Next up we have Cassidy, who again doesn't have a developer comment, but the cooldown for his magnetic grenade has been increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds, which is a significant nerf, but one I'm not upset about. Mei's developer comments. With some of the recent changes, Mei is now slightly overperforming. Her improved primary fire damage output is good for her role, so rather than adjust that further, we're instead targeting the more commonly frustrating crowd control aspect of its slowing effect. So the slowing effect of Mei's endothermic blaster has been decreased from 40% to 30%. So yeah, Mei's left click has received a bit of a nerf. Next we have Sombra, who has no developer comments, but it looks like her EMP ultimate cost has been decreased by 10%. It's a surprising buff, but one I'm not upset about because I do like to play her sometimes. And Symmetra has some developer comments. With Symmetra recently gaining more lethality for her long-range secondary fire, she's no longer as reliant on playing at close range, so we're reverting her total health back to 200. Symmetra's base shield health has been reduced from 125 to 100, with the total of her HP being 200. So her HP is now half health and half regenerative shield, which is a bit of a nerf, but it should be okay. Widowmaker's developer comments. Recon Visor is taking a long time to charge on average relative to other ultimate abilities, so we're reducing the cost. Widowmaker is also at a more severe disadvantage against Sombra with the recent rework, and these changes will add more counterplay. Widow's unscoped shots, where she sprays bullets everywhere, the maximum spread for that has been increased from 3 to 7, and Widow's ultimate cost has now been reduced by 10%. Moving on to the changes for the support heroes. The cooldown for Ana's biotic grenade has now been increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds, so that's another nerf to Ana's biotic grenade. Baptiste's immortality field has received a nerf. The health has been decreased from 150 to 125, and the cooldown has increased from 23 seconds to 25 seconds. That's a pretty big nerf, but I think he'll be okay, but I guess we'll see. And now Illari's developer comments. Illari's overall damage output throughout a match is too high, so we're reducing how consistent her solo rifle damage is to apply. Her weapon has some other disadvantages, such as needing to charge up and a reduced critical damage multiplier, but we'll be evaluating how much of an effect this change has in combination with the reduced healing pylon uptime. So her primary fire projectile size has been reduced from 10 centimeters to 5 centimeters, so that's halved. And with her healing pylon, its base health has been reduced from 75 to 50. So the total HP of the healing pylon is now just 100. And the cooldown for when the healing pylon is destroyed has been increased from 12 seconds to 15 seconds. So now it looks like Illari will now have to aim better and also be careful about where she places her healing pylon. Kiriko's Protection Suzu has been nerfed a bit, with its cooldown increased from 14 to 15 seconds. Lifeweaver's developer comments: Lifeweaver's total healing over a match is significantly higher than any other hero, so to help bring it more in line, we're making some adjustments to his primary healing blossom. They've reduced healing blossom's ammo from 20 to 16, and the max heal you can charge up has been reduced from 75 to 70. So because of the reduced ammo, it looks like we'll need to get as much value as we can per charge. And it looks like they've also nerfed life grip. So the cooldown for that has now been increased from 16 seconds to 19 seconds. So it looks like we'll also have to be a little bit more careful with our life grip usage. And lastly, Zenyatta and his developer comments. The goal of these changes is to add more counterplay against Discord Orb and encourage Zenyatta players to think more about who to place it on. Now, if the effect ends for any reason, the target is temporarily unable to be targeted again by Discord Orb. A new soft targeting reticle appears when aiming toward an enemy player that cannot be affected by Discord Orb to display the remaining duration before it can be reapplied. This is a significant change both to how the ability feels to use and how clear it is to understand. So we will be keeping a close eye on player feedback. So they've increased Zenyatta's base health from 50 to 75. His total HP is now 225. And they've changed his Harmony Orb. It says here that the time to wear off when not in line of sight increased from 3 to 5 seconds. So you can go around a corner away from Zenyatta and you'll still have the healing orb for 5 seconds, which is a bit of a buff. And changes to his Discord Orb. It can no longer be reapplied to the same target for 7 seconds after the effect has been removed. That's actually a long time. But they have increased the range from 30 to 40 meters. That's a very interesting change to Discord Orb, and one I'm kind of happy about. As a support player, I don't really like Discord Orb. Everyone dies too quickly with it on. And that's it, that's all the hero updates. If you'd like to check out the article yourself, I'll leave a link to it in the description. Otherwise, that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe if you haven't already.